Good evening and welcome to the Hockey Writers Watch Party. Typically, we'd be starting the Hockey Writers grind line at this time. However, with the Detroit Red Wings squaring off against the Chicago Blackhawks, we thought we should invite members of Blackhawks Banter to join us this evening. So, joining us are Chicago Blackhawks writers, Brooke and Sean. How are you two both doing tonight?
Hi, we're doing good.
Hey, doing well, thanks.
You guys are excited to see your team in action against the beloved Detroit Red Wings?
Maybe not as excited as you, but we're here.
Yes.
I like the optimism. Representing the Red Wings tonight are partially myself and Devin and Pat. How are you two doing tonight?
You know, you say that we're representing, but you are very much representing, Ian. Proud of you.
I just washed it, so I had to wear it.
Absolutely. I'm doing great. I want to give a quick shout out to my friend Mike. Fighting the good fight, recovering from COVID. So keep getting better, buddy, and happy you're on the mend.
Yeah,
shout out to you,
wish
Mike.
Mike all the best.
By the way, he's a Blackhawks fan as well.
Oh,
so
never mind. No shout
nobody's perfect, but I know that he's watching tonight, so I just wanted to give him a quick shout out.
Cheers to that.
We wish Mike all the best, and we're glad that you can join us tonight. So tonight, the Blackhawks are taking on the Red Wings tonight at the United Center. The Blackhawks are 0-4 this season. The Red Wings are 2-2. Things are looking up in Hockeytown. So we'll be calling the first period tonight. We're gonna have a bit of banter. We're gonna have a bit of discussions. So let's just get right into it. So for the Blackhawks Banter crew, what are you hoping for or expecting tonight coming into this meeting against the Red Wings?
Yeah, no, I'll take this one. I'm hoping that we don't let in 5 goals. Would be the one thing. But no, in all honesty, I mean, we got Lankinen in for a second night in a row here, a young goalie that even some of your crew is unfamiliar with, and I don't blame you. But he is a good young prospect on their taxi squad, and he's making his way in for, again, a second time in a row. So to be honest, I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do. He's done well for Rockford over the past few years and showed good poise. Even though he let in 5 goals last game, he still got the Hawks' only point so far, and I think this will be a good test to see his confidence. So I'm looking forward most to just seeing what he can do in a second go here.
Brooke, your thoughts coming into tonight's game?
I hope that because it's an original 6 game, that honestly, that the energy will be and effort will be good tonight. If anything, that's what I'm hoping for. Not like any sluggish, whatever that's been going on. But I'm also excited about DeBrincat because he's the hometown kid against his hometown team. So I think him and Larkin, maybe they'll get in a scrap like he did with Werenski. I don't know. Maybe that'd be entertaining. I don't know. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing the kind of rivalry play out. I hope it's entertaining for us at least.
Not wishing Larkin gets into a fight. I mean, sure, it'd be kind of cool, but not hoping for that as a Red Wings fan. Devin, I'll go to you. What are your thoughts about the Red Wings coming into tonight's game against the Hawks?
Well, first of all, I hope that Larkin does not get into a fight like you just said. We're getting over this with Mantha fighting. We don't need Larkin fighting now all of a sudden. But I just want to see kind of continued momentum from the past couple of days. That first game, like we talked about on last week's show, was kind of a wash due to rust and all the outside factors. But since that first game, they've looked really good. They've won 2 out of the 3 games since then. So if they're not going to win, fine. But I just want to see them kind of keep that work ethic up,
For sure. The Dylan Larkin heel turn is something that no Red Wings fan is hoping for this upcoming season. Pat Brown, what about you? What are you hoping to see tonight from the Red Wings?
Yeah, a couple of things. A few players making their season debut. Helm, Juice, Biega, all going to be out there for the first time, so we'll see how they play. But really what I'm looking for is for them to continue their success in the face-off circle. Been very pleased with what they've been doing out of that. And can they contain Kane? He's Patrick Kane, so he's always got the hot hand. But I think, two goals, 1 assist in 4 games this year against not the most stout blue line that the Red Wings have. So what can the Wings do to minimize his chances and turn it up the other end?
And real quick, I just want to throw it out there. Hey, Pat, you you notice that they're using the 11-7 lineup?
I actually did not even pick up on that.
The Red Wings watch us. They're doing it.
That's phenomenal. That made my year. Thanks for that, Devin. It made my year.
Jeff Blashill was watching the show. It's like, God, this Pat guy knows what he's talking about. We're gonna pull this off tonight. So we're just counting down to puck drop here. Sean, I'll go back to you. So who do you think, who's been the best player so far for the Blackhawks early on through their first 4 games? Who's been the best player so far?
Yeah, all bias aside, I mean, on our show and in our articles, I've touched on DeBrincat needing a bounce back year, and he's proven that he's ready to do that. He's already been started to do that. I know Pat just touched on Patrick Kane, but to be honest, I think you guys need to be a little more worried about DeBrincat at this point. I mean, he's the kid that's taken over the torch, and he's already showing that 4 games in. The team's been sluggish, but he hasn't. When he's out there, he's probably the most noticeable. And not just by contrast, but because he's into another gear, and that's exciting to see as a Blackhawks fan. We have very few things this year so far to be excited about, but he's definitely one of them. So I would say keep your eyes on him, because he'll be fun to watch match up, and he can create some plays that are dangerous at any point in the game.
Yeah, I can't say enough about Alex DeBrincat. What a player he is! Just phenomenal player. Brooke, what has been this Blackhawks strength so far this season, or what's been their go-to thing that they can lean on, even though it's early on and the results haven't been great? But what do you think's been a strength of this team so far?
Their power play. They've scored in all their games so far. So honestly, that's where most of our offense is going to come from. They haven't really been able to do much on even strength. So honestly, if our power play can keep up, watch out.
I wonder what that's like.
Oh,
we do know what it's like. Our power play was terrible last year.
I wasn't going to get into the Red Wings power play struggles this early into the show, but we'll circle back to that. Devin, who has been the Red Wings MVP in your mind so far?
It's got to be Bobby Ryan. Bobby Ryan, he missed that first game, and lo and behold, the Wings lost it. And since then, the Wings are 2-1 with him in the lineup. He shares the lead for goals in the league. Excuse me. And he's kind of just been electric whenever he's been on the ice. It's got to be Bobby Ryan.
Bobby Ryan for Hart. Is it too early?
That's probably the spiciest take you will hear all year.
I'll say it now before it doesn't happen again, or before, when a Red Wing isn't in Hart consideration. But through 4 games, he's got an argument. Pat, what about the Red Wings' strength so far this season? What do you think the Red Wings have been leaning on that's been working so far?
Well, since Devin took the low-hanging fruit with Bobby Ryan, I'm going to go with Filip Hronek. Been really impressed with what he's done on the blue line. I know we all wanted to see him take that next step, and we're 4 games in. But my goodness, he's logging the most ice time, I believe, out of any defenseman. His outlet passes are crisp. He's manning the blue line well, and really has taken the blue line from absolutely abysmal to just kind of bad. So I've been really impressed with what I've seen out of him, and I hope there's even more to come.
Speaking of crisp, Duncan Keith just skated out on the ice for his intro. His flow is crisp. If there's anything crisp that we'll see tonight, it'll be Keith's hair. So we're just counting down towards puck drop here. We're getting the player introductions here between the Hawks and the Red Wings. Because for myself, the Red Wings have been better than expected. I don't know about Devin or Pat or what their thoughts have been early on this season, but I've been really pleased. And maybe it's because we played a Columbus team who's not as good as we all predicted at the beginning of the season. But nevertheless, this team is looking competitive. They're looking like they, want to be there. They're not giving up after the first period. And I would say the strength/MVP so far have been the goaltenders for Detroit. I have loved what I've seen from Thomas Greiss, who's getting to start for the Red Wings tonight. Jonathan Bernier, who has got both the wins this year, maybe doesn't get enough recognition, from myself and other Red Wings fans. Sean and I were chatting about it earlier about, Bernier's success this season.
Can't relate.
This is good. Yeah. So we'll see how it goes tonight with Grice getting to start. But if Detroit can continue it, because I think they have a team. Someone correct me, Devin or Pat, correct me on this. They have about a 275 GAA.
Oh boy.
I need
No
to
idea.
consult
Okay.
my statistician on that. I'll
Yeah.
get
Sure,
back to
that's
you.
fair enough. Stats guy
I was
Ian.
not prepared.
Stats guy Ian was not getting any reaction there. So, anyways,
The one thing, Ian, I'd like to throw out there is what I think the Red Wings are benefiting from, and what they're doing well is making adjustments. These 2-game series, what we've seen is the second game, and I feel bad for Grice because he started that first game in both series and hasn't gotten the W yet, even though he's played extremely well. I think Blashill, to his credit, and I've been very hard on him, but to his credit, he's made good adjustments in the second game of these series, and the Wings have come out on top. So it'll be interesting to see in the first game of this 2-game series in Chicago how the Wings come out, and then subsequently what adjustments both teams make on Sunday.
Yeah, because Sunday is another matinee game for the Red Wings. I
Yep.
believe they're playing on NBC in the States. They get the, broadcast network time, which is cool. I want to go back to the Blackhawks for a second. Sean or Brooke, either one of you can answer this one. How important or needed is a change of scenery for the Chicago coming into tonight? Because they've played 2 games in Florida. They've played 2 games in Tampa Bay. Is the change of scenery or the home ice advantage going to help them tonight? Do either one of you think?
I don't think so. Wait, what did you say, Sean?
I said, go ahead.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if you were answering or not, but no, I don't think so. I feel like if they would have needed a change of scenery, it would have been between Tampa and Florida, and then that didn't work. And plus, we don't have fans there, so I don't know. I'm honestly really we're on a 4-game losing streak. I'm really angry.
Chelsea Dagger isn't going to hit us hard.
Oh.
Hey, we know that feeling quite well.
I know you guys do.
We won 17 games last year, for what it's worth. And while I don't feel bad for you because I've been to enough Red Wings Blackhawks games at the United Center to keep this pent-up anger for life, rebuilding sucks, and the Blackhawks did it kind of abruptly over the off season, and
not very well.
So. And
yeah,
Ian,
no,
by the
well.
way, collectively, Ian, a 2.5 GAA between the two of them. Bernier right at 2.0 and Grice at 2.59. So there you go.
Perfect.
Statistician got back to us.
Wow. All right. Thank you, Pat. I appreciate that.
Send your guy my way, Pat.
Well, I was going to say, Sean, your thoughts about the team coming back and playing their first game at the United Center this season?
I got to kind of echo what Brooke said there. And I was reverting to Brooke because I live in the Toronto area and she's in the Chicago area. So I think she could speak more directly to location, but it doesn't seem like wherever they play is going to mean much yet. And we're coming in here sounding super sour, but this has been a rough start. I mean, we all sort of saw it coming, but not this bad. So it doesn't matter where they've played yet. They've played basically the same, which has been bad. So we can be optimistic and hope that a change of scenery does something, but it's just hard to predict that right now. So
we need to have a very good start.
A little more optimistic than Brooke and say that maybe being on home ice will give them some sense of comfort. I wouldn't bet on it. I think it'll be a closer game, which I'm hoping for. See,
I don't know if the Blackhawks fans have got to the point as a Red Wings fan where I was at last year, where people were apologizing to me for, rooting for the Red Wings. Like they're feeling sorry for me. I don't think it's got like that yet, but
no one can apologize to us. Trust me.
No, I wasn't planning on it, but nevertheless, we're about to get started here between the Red Wings and the Blackhawks. If you like what you're seeing so far and you're enjoying this, be sure to like this video on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to the Hockey Writers YouTube channel. We got a bunch of great stuff coming out. Like every week, we got good stuff. We got Blackhawks Banter on Monday, the Hockey Writers Live on Wednesday. We come out on Friday nights. It's just great. You really should be subscribed to this channel. I don't know what you're doing if you aren't. But that being said, hopefully we can get started here. Thomas Grice with the start for the Red Wings, Lankinen with the start for the Blackhawks. So
I don't want it to go overseen either. Your first 2 games were against arguably the best team in the league.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
you are not playing the best team in the league tonight. So
Panthers.
no,
Yeah.
I know, but you cut a little slack with the Lightning because I mean, that was a tough way to start a long layoff in an odd season. So I think tonight's going to be a really good game,
Yeah.
much to my dismay. But
If you don't come out of this series with a win, it's going to be rough.
yeah,
Just straight up.
That's a solid.
This series is
solid.
eye-opening for both of our teams.
Yes.
For sure.
I don't know if we're doing it, but I'm going to say 4-2 Hawks.
Ooh,
Oh,
empty netter or straight up?
I'm
All
gonna
right.
go 3-2 Hawks for what it's worth. They'll keep that pattern going.
That was close. I'll go.
Also-
Bro, what you
ahead,
got,
Mike.
Ian? What you got?
I was just gonna say 4-3 Red Wings.
yeah, I think
I'm
I'm going to say that Detroit's going to score 4 goals. But maybe try to be positive. I'll go 5-4 Hawks. I don't know if I believe that, but we'll see.
See, I almost just want Devin to give his over under tonight for Devin's degenerate gambling corner, but no, he hasn't taken that up yet.
Oh.
That's just giving you free content, buddy, and you're not taking it. But you do you.
I was just gonna say I should have placed a bet on this.
Not that we're gambling people or anything.
Yeah.
I'm actually gonna go with Ian Stradamus here and also go 4-3 wing. That's what I had in my head before you said it, Ian. So I agree. I concur, Doctor.
All right. Well, thank you, Pat. I
Concur,
appreciate
doctor.
that. I think that's the first time anyone's called me doctor, which I
Once you
that's
call
good.
doctor once, you get to just own that. You're Doctor
yeah. Now
McNaughton now.
I'm putting that on my resume. Keeping that. Ooh.
All right, Ken Daniels. What do you got?
Oh, gosh.
So, yeah, competitive early on. And Giovanni Smith, is in the lineup tonight because the Red Wings have. How many players are we missing tonight with COVID? Because Zadina,
5.
we're missing
Oh,
5
no.
players tonight.
5.
Jeez, okay. All right. Not a big deal.
That's what the
Um,
taxi squad's for, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's
Yeah.
the whole. Until you become, Dallas or Carolina, where your
Yeah.
team is affected
Yep.
and you can't play. But,
Which that could be coming, but fingers crossed.
So, anyways, so yeah, we're just getting started here. First period, Red Wings, Blackhawks. This is the Hockey Writers Watch Party.
Woo!
Woo!
Getting spicy up in here.
That's like
Uh,
the 3rd time Franz Nielsen has had like an awesome setup and then he just like whiffs on it.
Franz
gonna-
Nielsen? What are you talking about?
Franz Nielsen.
Proud alternate captain.
Proud. Number 81.
I was
I don't know about you, but I'm still like getting used to our team because there's so many new people.
Oh, 100%.
So I'm still like, I have no idea who that is. So if someone scores and I have no clue who it is, I'll outright say I don't know who that is. I'm sorry. I'm still getting used to this.
isn't that what happens with a pandemic and then just the off season of what it was, where everybody just signed all their players at once and then nothing happened? It seemed like for like the Timashov trade or whatever. That was like the first trade for us that happened in the league in like months, wasn't it?
Yep. And it was just for future consideration.
Yeah.
Who I hear is thriving in Europe.
Yeah. Are you a big Timashov fan there, Ian?
No, not a.
Okay. Oof.
I don't think I wrote any Timashov content before the season,
To-
so I can't.
To go to Brooks' point, to this day, every time I see number 70, it still takes me like a moment to click who it is.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
That
here's-
happens.
like the Hawks have had the same team for the most part, like the past few years, and this year is like really like the year where everything is shuffled, and you're like, I don't know what's
Yep.
going on.
I know number 2 and I know number 88.
Yeah, we know
that's it.
number 88 on this
Well,
team.
remember when Datsuk made his debut back in 2002, and obviously wearing number 13. And I'm like, Slava Kozlov's back.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
it's funny how
He's
that
Russian, too.
turnover.
How
Yeah,
funny.
exactly.
Well, that's Gustav Nyquist when he was 14. I was like, that's
Yep.
Shanny's number.
Yep, absolutely.
Uh-oh.
Absolutely. Who is it? Grice wearing 29. I was like, hey, we got Mike Vernon in the net.
Yep. He's playing like it right now.
He is.
He's been playing like it all season.
No, it's Matthias Janmark is the one that's throwing me off because he's like number 13 or something, and I'm not used to that. So,
Speaking of number 13. Ooh.
The Red Wings are pushing here. Red Wings are
I think I'm slightly behind
gosh.
you guys streaming.
well. Again, I'm kind of got the same problem as Sean does. I'm in Canada, and Sportsnet doesn't have the game, so not that I'm complaining or anything. I'm very thankful to be watching Pens Rangers. The chaotic neutral matchup I did not need in my life because it's just a bunch of chaos, and I don't really care about the results. So.
Man, the Rangers. If only we could have 2 consecutive draft lotteries like
2
they
picks. Yeah.
did.
Wouldn't that be great? Yeah, the Blackhawks are now pushing here, getting a cycle game going as far as I can tell.
let's see. We have to see which team takes advantage of their opportunities first because that's a problem we have.
Oh, it's the same problem as the Red Wings of just getting down early and then not coming back.
Yeah, and we didn't really touch on it, but that's actually one of the things this year that I've been impressed with the Red Wings. They, even if they get down or if they get up and they give the goal back, the floodgates haven't opened yet.
Yep.
And that's been good to see.
Totally agree.
John, what you got any takeaways so far early on in this game?
Other than my feed being totally fuzzy here, and that's the part of my takeaway is trying to make sure I can get a smoother feed.
Oh, I love I love the Sportsnet Go ad where it's like, oh, you shouldn't be streaming, just pay for Sportsnet Go, and I have not heard a single positive thing from it.
When did Lankinen get so pixelated? He doesn't look so good.
Playing NHL 94 here. Holy cow.
Are you sure this is 60 frames per second? I don't think so.
Okay.
All right. Well, we're heading into our first commercial break of the game here. If you're enjoying this is the Hockey Writers Watch Party between Blackhawks Banter and the Hockey Writers Grind Line. If you're enjoying this, be sure to like this video on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. We got a bunch of great content coming out 3-4 times. We got a bunch of stuff on. Again, Blackhawks Banter Monday. We're coming at you on Fridays. Hockey Writers Live on Wednesdays. Bunch of great stuff. Go subscribe right now. It's great. It's awesome. I can't recommend it enough. So we are 7 minutes into the game so far. Early takeaway. Anybody got any early takeaways so far on this back and forth battle?
Yeah,
The Hawks look about as I expected. Like they start out really strong. This is like pretty like normal for them. They come out really strong and then depends. I don't know if they'll actually take advantage of this. I hope they do, but right now this looks pretty standard to me.
Definitely still seems like they're feeling each other out.
Getting to know one another. That Sunday game is going to be really good though.
Oh, for sure.
So we'll see how it goes here. I wanted to get what are we like 4 or 5 depending on how many games you play. We're about 4 or 5 games into the season. For most, just any like overall NHL takeaways. Brooke, Sean, any NHL takeaways that you've noticed throughout the rest of the league?
Just talking about it today with my wife, actually, I think we all expected it to be a unique season, but it's been a little bit even more weird than I think we could have imagined with all the players that are sort of out at any given time, players getting fined, players doing what they're not supposed to do, and just the schedule kind of seeing a bit of a whirlwind. So, to be honest, I'm kind of sitting idly by, assuming that they're going to figure it out. But you can't help but think, how much worse is it going to get?
Yeah.
Or, is this just what to expect throughout 56 games for each of these teams?
It seems like the NHL. I was going to say, it seems like the NHL has really put in a lot of effort and really tried their hardest to make it as safe as possible.
Mhm.
I would say more so in comparison to, say, the NBA or the NFL. And that's nice to see, because like the NHL, obviously they had their return to play back in the summertime, and now they've had a whole 3-4 months to kind of prepare again and to try and to do this all again. And I don't think anyone's expected it to be perfect. I certainly didn't expect it to be perfect, but I think it's gone about right so far. It's kind of been on par for my expectations this season. Brooke, do you have any thoughts or takeaways throughout the rest of the league early on?
COVID wise, I agree with what Sean said, but if we're talking like if team wise, like if any team surprises me, not really. Tampa still scares me. Vegas still scares me. Colorado still scares me. So I guess it seems for the condensed schedule, it seems pretty like standard. The teams that you would expect to be really good are still good. So that's kind of seems to give some normalcy to it.
Yeah, I would love almost to be like a Vegas fan or a Tampa fan, because you are just still
Must be fun.
dominating in a.
Yeah.
Yeah, it must be great. It must be wonderful, so that you don't have to, talk about rebuilding or the draft lottery. But yeah, it's especially interesting with these divisions and how the matchups and how the setups are. I mean, it's nice that we kind of get some old Central Division, rivalries like we have here tonight with Detroit and Chicago. But hopefully, things can improve and get better the rest of the way. Devin, do you have any takeaways throughout the league as just team-wise, player-wise through the first week?
My takeaway is that the as great as Colorado's reverse retro jerseys are, their new just standard uniforms are terrible.
Oh, wow.
I hate the blue. Holy cow! Especially with the away jersey, it looks mismatched. That's my hot take.
I like it, Devin. I like it.
I saw them play at home and they're all blue and maroon now, and like that looked okay. I still prefer the black. And then I saw them on the road, and that blue is just out of place, and they really needed to go back to the black. Holy cow.
I was gonna say I saw when they were playing St. Louis, and I'm like, okay, this is okay. I can live with this. And then I saw them play LA the other night.
Yep.
And I turned it off after Colorado scored the first goal, mostly because Colorado was going to beat LA by a lot, but also because their away jerseys look ugly. With the new blue. It doesn't look as pretty. Pat, any early takeaways for you in this new season?
I did not expect Dallas to be winless at this point of the season. I would say that's my takeaway. Is
I was not expecting that. You caught me off guard there. Oh,
I do what I can. Thank you, guys. I'm out. Thanks.
Yeah, no, you just Costanza this. You just Costanza this. You leave. You're done. Your night's over.
See, Sean and Brooke are down on the Blackhawks, but the Stars don't have a win either. So.
That's true.
Stars don't even have a point. Blackhawks have a point.
Hey, we got 1 point.
One point.
Heck yeah.
That's way better than Dallas. I'll take it.
Exactly.
Is Dallas arguably the worst team in the league? Hot take. Like, is that what
Talk
we're
about
gonna
not being
see
able to start
tomorrow?
on time. Holy cow.
That's good stuff.
So
Always good for a laugh.
yeah, no kidding. I was gonna say, Devin, speaking of jerseys, I actually like Dallas's blackout jerseys. Those
Yeah, I do too.
Oh, with the highlighters.
Yeah.
Yes,
So like
I like those.
I don't mind them, but like it wouldn't have been what I picked.
They definitely give me some like Nerf glow in the dark
Yes.
type vibes, but
Yes.
I do like that.
For sure.
I don't know if there's any Harry Potter fans in the group here right now, but like, you know how in Chamber of Secrets when Malfoy comes in and soups up everybody with their new broomsticks, that uniform looks like if you're playing like a beer league and like you got your team these cool new jerseys. Like that's what it looks like. Like I could have designed that in NHL 21.
Oh my gosh, guys, I just noticed, are the Blackhawks doing what the Islanders are doing with the car in the,
Oh my God, are they?
there's a car at
The car,
United
yep.
Center.
I saw that too.
Yeah.
The Wings are doing that too, I know.
Yeah, I saw that. I
they
saw
are?
that at LCA too.
Oh, at least it's not a bad car though.
I'm wondering if that's like a sponsorship thing because
It's gotta
like
be.
yeah.
I do like. I like the Little Caesars mascot. Is it Little Caesar? It must be in the yeah. I really like that. If you can't have
So
fans,
do I.
you might as have Little Caesar with pom poms there. It's pretty fantastic.
Some of it,
I was saying with Devin about that, where it's like, you know, some poor intern's just like, okay, boss, how many of these Little Caesars things do you want to put there? And then the boss just like, yes.
Just
And by the way, they are socially distanced, which is the best part of all. They're all like 6 seats away from each other.
that
which
poor
is just
intern had to
amazing.
cut them out and then measure.
Fantastic.
I can't wait for that to be brought up every time a team visits Little Caesars Arena because they're going to see that for the first time.
Yeah. It's great. And I mean, we're giving free advertising right now talking about it. Pizza.
Yes.
Chris Illich thanks you.
Yes. You a fan of the Red Wings? Do you like pizza?
Oh
Yeah,
no.
Now I'm getting hungry.
Oh no.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you know, with everybody it's seeming like putting cars in their arenas. I always think back to like the world, you know, when the World Juniors are in Europe or when the World Championships are in Europe, and they always have like a Skoda in the corner. And I mean, we could put a Skoda in the corner of every NHL rink here. I mean, it won't sell very good.
I think of Comerica Park, but like that's just because, you know.
I never thought it would happen to the Blackhawks, to be honest.
I know. I'm pretty sure the whole league were picking on the Islanders for having that card here,
Yeah.
and then here we are.
Trailblazers.
Yeah.
Trailblazers. Those
Trailblazers.
They
Yeah,
paved the way for all of us.
Yeah, those people, the Islanders management is just like, see, we were ahead on this one.
Yeah.
Like, who
Islanders
needs,
walked
like,
so we could run.
Yeah, exactly.
So again, we're in another commercial break here. This is the Hockey Writers Watch Party with the Blackhawks Banter crew and the Hockey Writers Grindline crew. If you are liking this and you're enjoying this, be sure to like this video. We greatly appreciate it. And please be sure to subscribe to the Hockey Writers YouTube channel. You know, we got Blackhawks Banter on Mondays. We got the Hockey Writers Live on Wednesdays. The Hockey Writers Grindline comes out Fridays. News and rumors out Saturday too. So be sure, that's the newest one. Be sure to check that out. All on the Hockey Writers YouTube channel. Be sure to give it a sub. So we're about halfway through this first period now. I haven't really been paying attention to the game since Pat brought out the Dallas reference. But any thoughts on the first period? It looks like the Red Wings were pushing, and also the Blackhawks were too. That was just a real hardcore, analysis right there. But thoughts midway through the first period?
Been good pace. I mean, back and forth. They've it's so cliche, but the pace has been there. At least, again, we're used to seeing the Hawks quite sluggish, especially at this point. But they've kept up. There's been some back and forth. It looked like Detroit's had some better chances overall, but it's 0-0, so I can't complain about that.
We haven't let up a goal. I'm so happy right now.
Well, it looks like the Hawks are heading to a power play, too. I think I saw.
Yes,
penalty.
Filppula had a holding call, which is great. That's why we have Filppula in the lineup, so we can get holding calls. But not as bad as Tyler Myers, though.
I'm anxiety eating.
Brooke, what's your snack of choice?
This is like a Nutter Butter thing.
But it's tough to find Nutter Butters where I am in Canada, because we used to have Targets here in Vancouver and they didn't sell Nutter Butters, which was stupid. I don't know why. Like they didn't sell half of the stuff that you saw in Target in the States wasn't sold at Target in Canada, and I don't understand why. And Nutter Butters was one of those things. That's like half of my joy of going to Target. So I don't know.
This is getting so off topic, but
Score!
Nope.
Your stream's ahead of
Sounds like Brooks ahead.
Yeah, Brooks ahead.
I'll take it.
Yeah, I'm still like the Blackhawks are still breaking out on my feed.
Oh my gosh, we have the first lead, Sean. We scored first.
Yes. And I'll take it tonight live with our Red
Oh,
Wings.
there it is, Patty Kane.
Oh,
Patty
hey.
Kane with the Blackhawks' first goal of the game.
I thought you guys said we didn't have to worry about him.
Not as much.
Fair enough.
Guess
No, it's
who
just
didn't say we didn't have to worry about him?
Yeah.
Only Patrick Kane can do this kind of stuff.
It's just the eye candy of like, oh, look at this DeBrincat guy. He's really good. You should focus on him. And then Patty Kane just scores.
Yeah.
So that's
a good play.
That was a good play.
That's
Very,
good.
very Patty Kane.
Yeah, very. And you know what? That's good. It's good for us because he hasn't looked himself. Despite his points, believe it or not,
Despite having 3 goals in 4 games, he just hasn't.
No, really, I know.
Remember when we used to have players that were like that?
No, he just hasn't. He usually looks like he's having the most fun out there, and he hasn't yet.
Yeah.
For sure. Is it lack of shooting? Is it just
Is he missing Tays?
That's what we're wondering. I mean, when he's out there, it looks like he's sort of more. It's more obligatory, and that's not. We're not used to seeing that of him.
For sure.
Yeah, a lot of the times it seemed like he was kind of just going through the motions out there.
Yeah.
You know, I will say if I was Jeff Blashill, I would not have had Alex Biega being the guy responsible for covering Patrick Kane. But that's just me.
Not what I would have done, but you know that's why I'm not the coach of the.
That is why I'm not getting paid handsomely to coach the Red Wings. Yes.
Yeah. What do I know? Red Wings are pushing. Trying here. So Sean, I'll go back to you. So obviously the Blackhawks had a pretty decent end of the year last year, going back to the bubble, beating the Oilers in the play-in round and then falling in the next round to the Vegas Golden Knights. So is it personnel what's changed from that? Is it maybe just the opponents? What's the difference between the return to play and just this early season struggle?
I mean, good question. I hate to call it the obvious, but I think we're missing some key personnel. Crawford obviously walked first and foremost, then retired. That was a big loss. You got Captain Taves injured. You got Doc, who's one of their up and comers, coming injured. These guys who they have out there is not performing at their top either. So it's really a bad combination of everything. I mean, these kids who are there, or even the Canes who are proven, have this chance to sort of take over, and they're just not doing it yet. And they're missing those key pieces, so nothing's really complementing each other. When that was all clicking in the bubble, and obviously they were able to surprise many in that playoff push, probably even a lot of fans. But now it's just totally they've 180 that. It's they're doing all the opposite. Nothing's clicking. So call it injuries, call it lack of desire to be there and lack of cohesion, but just none of it's working right now.
I want to get both Brooke and Sean's opinion on Colleton, on the head coach. Because one of my good friends, one of my good friends, he's a Blackhawks fan. He doesn't like him. He doesn't think he's that good. He can go any minute, essentially, is basically what he's telling me. Sean, I'll start with you. Thoughts on Colleton and his job as a coach so far?
Well, not to plug my work too much here, but my first ever article with the Hockey Writers was about Colleton's success and saying he needs another chance and, lay off him a little bit, give him an opportunity. And I was in his corner, to be honest. He hadn't had much of a sample size, and he came into this opportunity already behind the 8 ball. You're taking over Quenneville, one of the most winningest coaches in the league, let alone in Hawks history. That's going to be a tough uphill battle regardless. And he didn't have a lot of, the same kind of roster that Quenneville did. So it was going to be tough either way. So I was really rooting for him and pulling for him. But to be honest, even in the small sample size here that we've seen to start this season and some of what we saw sort of to end last season, just in sort of the drama that was surrounding the team, he's losing a lot of my patience pretty quick. I'm just not sure that he's utilizing players where they should be. It's not about not giving kids a chance. It's just that it's a lot of what he's doing doesn't make sense. So until I can rationalize and see logic behind some of these decisions, I'm losing faith in what he's capable of doing because he's not giving me reasons to back him anymore.
Brooke, your thoughts on Colton as the head coach and the job he's done so far?
Like, my thing is, he shows like spurts where it seems like he knows what he's doing, and then it seems like it just completely unravels in his face. And like, these games are kind of an example of that. I feel like kind of like Sean was saying, a lot of the players aren't playing up to their potential, and that's the system. It's a system issue because a lot of the players are good, and then when you see them not playing to that potential, it's kind of annoying because it obviously could be improved with probably good coaching. And also with the lineups he puts out, sometimes they're just completely wrong and he doesn't put the players where they need to be. And it's kind of just a mess. And we keep trying to hope it's just like he's growing still, like he still has ways to go, but I don't know, to be honest. Like Sean said, he's kind of testing all of our patience at the moment. When they keep struggling like this and players seem unmotivated and all this stuff, it really kind of makes you think about it. I don't know if it's going to improve or not, but
I gotta say, personally, I thought it was very bold that the Blackhawks replaced Joe Quenneville with Jeremy Colleton, who had never coached an NHL game in his life.
But you know what, though? Like, they knew what they were handing off, right? I think it was a big step down in that respect. Not to pour on Colleton too much here, but look at what he was handed. So I think it just goes hand in hand in that respect, right? He wasn't handed a contending team. So part of me sort of thinks, why not give somebody that they were hoping to take the pressure off of, because who can expect much? But I don't know. The fan base is not happy.
So right now, the
Red Wings fans
Wings
know what it's like to be pissed at a coach.
Well, I didn't want to get into the Blashill talk yet. I wanted to get into the power play talk with the Red Wings because
okay.
Woof.
because the Red Wings are on the power play right now.
Is that what we call this?
They are struggling.
This is a man advantage at best.
So I promised Devin 30 seconds of airtime to go off on the power play. I'll start with you, Devin. What is the Red Wings power play and why are they struggling so much?
Did you just ask what it is?
Yeah, it's
non-existent is the answer.
Yeah.
Dr. Ian.
to be fair, they did get that one, the last game or whatever game that was.
Yes.
They got the one, so there's a glimmer of hope. But I just think there's too much standing around on it. There's not enough guys moving around. There's not enough optimization, to use that buzzword I always fall back on. And to go back to what Pat was talking about last week with 11-7, you've got guys who are literally practicing with a team that can provide offense, and especially in a power play situation, and they're not in the lineup to do that. It's not to say that the guys that they have in the power play aren't capable of doing it themselves, but they haven't shown that they can. So it's time to reinvent the wheel, as it were.
Pat, I'll go to you. Because the Red Wings have had some players, hopping in and out of the lineup. It hasn't been, even opening night, we still missed Bobby Ryan. We didn't have him. So to say we've had a full lineup yet isn't totally accurate. Do you think it's personnel? Is it scheme, coaching?
Yeah.
What do you blame the power play on earlier?
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of scheme involved. I'm pretty sick of seeing them try to wind Larkin up and have him skate in the zone and gain the zone. That has not worked. It continues to not work. It needs to stop. He's not Zetterberg.
Yep.
He's maybe at some point, but he just doesn't command the puck as well as Zetterberg did when we saw him do that on the power play. I think that's part of it. And then when they do claim the zone, they're missing chances. They're just not cashing in on some of their chances. My boy who I called out earlier, Hronek, missed a couple of open nets in that first game of the year on a power play. So, I think there's a little bit of everything. I don't think it's time to panic because I don't think it's time to panic because we've seen this team is better than previous iterations of the Red Wings in the last few years, but it's been a little bit frustrating. I wish they'd abandon the whole Larkin, carry it in the zone, and and either go to some dumping chase or figure out a scheme to the neutral zone where they can create a little more space.
I think that was a close opportunity by the Blackhawks there to take a 2-goal lead. My favorite power play is when everybody, like somebody carries it all up, and just as they get to the blue line, they do the drop pass. That's my favorite. I love that when you have all the momentum going north and then you flip the puck back south. That's the one that I really
the old flyby. It's the old flyby.
yeah, exactly. Exactly here as the Red Wings are pushing here in the final seconds of this first
2
period.
years ago, whenever you saw
Guys,
Cromwell
this might be a
carrying it up.
goalie game. This might be a matchup of the goalies.
Can you imagine? I wouldn't have guessed that.
I was going to say, I'll have to excuse Brooke and I if we seem in awe. This has been the best period of Blackhawks hockey this season. So
when it comes against the Red Wings,
I know, right?
You guys had a bit of a depressing show on Monday, so I tried to cheer you up a little bit.
We were not having a good time.
Yeah, glad we get you some positive airtime.
Yeah.
Glad we can help out with. Glad.
Linda's strong. Wow, look at this. Oh,
little cycle at the end of the period.
Brooke, this is a different team.
It is. What?
You're playing the Red Wings.
Bro, you guys are playing us. That's not playing us.
Yeah. She's got a point.
We won 17 games last year.
So we are finished the first period as Anthony Manta can't get the bench up to go into the locker room. We are finished the first period here at the United Center. The Blackhawks have a 1-0 lead. Sean, the Blackhawks winning. How? Thoughts?
Can we end the game? Can we just call it?
Yeah, exactly.
Stop the count.
To reiterate, that was the strongest they've looked. I mean, again, it's been a small sample size, but they were skating. They were, they were clicking. They were cohesive. They looked a little bit more like what we expected, even if they were going to struggle. We know their skill. Like Brooke said, there's skill in this team. They just weren't showing it, and we saw it that period. So, I get it. It's the Hawks and the Wings, and they're both struggling. I understand that, but this is refreshing for us right now because that was a great period of hockey for a team that has not had many of those so far.
Yeah.
Brooke, are you echoing the same thing that Sean is saying right now?
Yeah, I can't believe we did not give up a goal. I am shocked, and I cannot believe we are leading. I don't know what this kind of sorcery is, but I will say, though, that goal did come on the power play. Like I said, that's where you're going to find most of our offense. I don't know. We still have to click on even strength. I don't know if it stays like this. I don't know. You guys could have a shot, but right now I'm blown away. But this is usually how the Blackhawks start. They usually come out really strong, but this is the one opportunity where they actually cashed in on, which is that's growth. We're going somewhere, Sean.
Big growth. That's something. I mean, you guys can hear the excitement in our voices here, but wow. I mean, they've struggled in the second period, but I don't think they're going to let up here. These teams want to go at each other, and this is fun. This is going to be fun to watch the rest of the season.
Goalie matchup. We got a goalie game and a bad coaching game. The battle of the bad coaching.
I like that.
It's been a bit of a slow start for the Red Wings here. Devin, your takeaways from the first period from the Red Wings perspective.
Like Brooke said, it came on the one goal came on the power play. Patrick Kane scored it. That's bound to happen. Law of averages says it's going to happen once or twice in a season. They didn't look terrible. They also didn't look great. It's very much one of those meh periods where they're trying some things, but they haven't really got that real spark. Grice looked good at times, so that's good. I do want to throw out there real quick because I want to do some digging since Pat pulled out a statistician on me. If the Red Wings do pull off a victory tonight and go 3-2, it will be their first winning record since October 14th, 2019.
Oh my gosh.
So let's break that curse, shall we?
That would be cool. I'd like that.
I remember 2019. That was a while ago. I could go places without a mask.
That's true.
Pat Brown, what are you looking for the Red Wings heading into the second period?
Well, I don't think the Red Wings played a bad period. 10 shots on goal. They got outshot 12-10, but we don't see the Red Wings get 10 shots on goal very often either in a period. So, I don't think the Red Wings played bad. The Hawks got a power play goal off of a redirect. Biega kind of knocked it down, and Kane made a play, which is what Kane does. I think the Blackhawks are hungry. They haven't won a game yet. They're a much better team than what their record shows. So I think they're hungry. And I want to go back to the beginning of the show when I mentioned this first game in the 2-game series. The Red Wings always seem to take a little while to figure it out. Yep. So all in all, I think it was an even period. I think the Blackhawks played well. I think their power play looks great. And Brooke, I think you touched on that earlier. Sean, maybe it was you. Your guys' power play just continues to impress, even when things aren't going right in other sides of the game. And I think we're going to have a good rest of the game. And I'm looking forward to watching it, and really enjoyed this with you guys.
Before we sign off, any final thoughts, takeaways, something you'd like to add before we go here? Anybody can chime in. Thoughts on the Red Wings, the rest of the game, maybe any other thoughts heading into the second and third period. Doors all open.
Brooke, if this is what we can expect anytime we live stream a game, then we'll do this for the rest of their season.
There you go.
So,
Yes, let's do this every game. It's obviously very good for us.
We will ask Mr. Hockey, will the Red Wings win today? Oh, you heard it here first.
Oh,
there you go.
There you go. There you go. Mr. Hockey knows all. I just want to say I'm hoping that Hronik gets rewarded today. I know, Pat, you had talked about him. He has looked good the first 4 games. He's due for a reward of some sorts, whether it's a goal or just a couple of points. I'm hoping that's it's not today, it's Sunday. So
that would be nice. I would thoroughly enjoy that as well. Well, this has been the Hockey Writers Watch Party. Thank you to Sean and Brooke for joining us this evening so you could take part in the live stream. It's greatly appreciated. Again, if you like this video, if you enjoyed tonight's live stream, be sure to subscribe to the Hockey Writers YouTube channel. We got great content that comes out every week. You'll want to subscribe to it. Can't recommend it enough. And again, thank you also to Devin and Pat for taking the time out of your night to join us. It's been great. It's been wonderful. Hopefully the Red Wings come back. I don't know. Hopefully my pick's right. We'll see. Who knows? This is Ian McNaughton signing off. Thank you very much for watching. Have a good night.